What is going on, everyone? I'm Shadell. Welcome back to Rap Talk. And today I want to talk about this sticky but toxic situation that's happening with 50 Cent and his son. This little back and forth that they're having after Marquise went on Choke No Joke's live stream where he came out a few days, maybe a week ago, saying how 6,700 isn't a lot of money in New York, which is essentially like 80,000, 81,000 a year. And many of us, me included, think that's a wild thing to say, because he even went further to say to Choke No Joke, yo, if you could start your life over with 67,000, can you? And I'm sure everyone is sitting there being like, what? Yeah, I only make 1,000 or 2,000 or three, 67,000 a month. I'll be living great. And I just wanted to kind of give another perspective onto this whole situation. And I'm going to be glancing over on my laptop here to look at a few different things. I feel like Marquise is trapped in a web of a toxic mom and 50 kind of being toxic in its own way. And I'll kind of break this down here. So if you're not familiar, in the past, 50 has said, this was back in 2018, that he wouldn't care if his son got hit by a bus. Wild thing to say that your dad would say of you, no matter how much of an issue there is. You would think that, hey, if the mom is sitting there brainwashing the kid, that sucks, whatever. And it's damn, that's how you feel. You don't care. And Marquise at some point said how, his dad likes 6ix9ine more than him. Or, I'm sure Pop Smoke at one point, and gravitates to a lot of these other people. 50 then, later on with Daphne Joy, I believe is her last name, had a kid with, I believe the kid's name is Sire. And, is kind of molding that kid into being whatever 50 wants that kid to be. So there goes that point where I'm like, 50, I don't know why you would say that. Okay. And as I mentioned with the 6ix9ine thing, and I'm sitting here okay. We've heard from 50 so many times that, that if he didn't think success would have him lose his firstborn, which is Marquise. We've seen him in the Wankster video a long time ago when we were all freaking teenagers watching music videos and all that stuff. And we've heard 50 in many interviews throughout the decades that he's been around. Whenever his son comes up, they talk about the mom situation and things like that. 50 has kind of had songs that talk about it. I Love Smoking and Drinking, that song, which is kind of like a sleeper of 50. You can find it on YouTube. I feel like he's referencing his baby mama in that song. 21 Questions, I feel like it's kind of a reference to that. And I'm sitting here thinking, as I'm watching these Tony Yayo interviews, the most recent on Math Hoffa, where it's yo, he's asking, Yayo, were you scared when 50's he's going at this person, going at that person? And Yayo doesn't really answer directly to that question. Yayo's kind of go with the flow and all that stuff. And it seems like Yayo's very just much, hey, he's the ride or die, he's with it, all that stuff. That's great. But I feel like Marquise is stuck in this, I'm the next generation of my dad or my mom, whatever. And my dad wants me to be like the people that he's around or that he is. Where, for example, Yayo was saying when 50 got shot, Yayo didn't see 50 in the hospital. 50 didn't want anyone to see him. It's one of those weird things where the parent wants the kid to be better than them, but if that happens, the parent doesn't really like it. And it's you're sitting here be okay, I'm going to give my kid a better life. We're going to get out of this grind, this hustle, be selling drugs for a living where I can end up dead or in jail, and hopefully end up giving my kid a better lifestyle. Cool. And then you turn around and get mad because, or not like it because your kid is too soft or not up to your standards or didn't go through the mud like you went through and these things. And it's it's very interesting. My only issue, and I know there's many sides of the story to this, and I huge 50 fan, but we've always got over the years that, it's kind of 50's portraying that, it's the baby moms is getting into the kid's head, and that's why they don't have a relationship, that's why they don't like each other and all that stuff. And I kind of feel like that's part of it. And I've been in a situation where the mom is sitting there telling all the bad things Your dad's this, your dad's that. Don't trust your dad. We don't like your dad for this reason. I totally understand it. But I also feel like 50, being who he is, kind of just, 50's just like an independent, you're either doing it my way and that's it, and it doesn't matter. Like, that's how I kind of envision or see 50. Of course, we don't know him personally of how he is, but it just gives me the vibe, especially as you're seeing Yayo come out more and more and talk about his experiences and life going with 50 and going even these recent tours, hanging out and all this stuff. And it's just, if you're not go with the flow and whatever 50 says you do, it seems like it's an issue. And it's very sad when you're sitting here and I'm seeing like Marquise, like, this guy is now saying he's going to give his 6,700 to spend 24 hours with his dad, to do things that he wasn't able to do with him when he was a kid. And it's like, a part of me is like, is 50 going to care about this? Is he going to brush it off? Like, we don't know the whole story to it, but I really just feel like, as the dad, you should be the bigger person to your kid. And it's like, it's very tricky. Because I really feel like you have Marquise sitting here posting this entitled picture, playing off 50's broke meme he did years ago. And I feel like, I don't know, it's something about where I feel like you should give your kid a second chance or another try. I feel like when you get older, you start feeling like, my mom told me all these bad things about you, all that stuff. And it didn't give me the chance to start viewing you in a better light. Like, hold on, let's get a relationship back, all this stuff. And I know there's been comments said over and over between Marquise and 50 over the years. I think even earlier this year, he did like a list on his live stream, I think with a friend, and put 50 still within his top 5 rappers. I believe it was like him, Pop Smoke, I can't remember the rest. And it's like, your son still has love for you. Like, I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point, but it's like, if you're sitting here, and as a dad, you're like, damn, maybe I should give my kid another try. Spend a day with him, chop it up, I don't know. But knowing 50 and knowing the type of person that this guy is, where he's like, once he's done messing with you, he's done messing with you, as we've seen with numerous occasions. The Game is probably the one that comes to mind. Obviously, Young Buck obviously comes to mind. Banks. Like, once 50 doesn't feel like, hey, we should be even talking anymore, it's like, all right, we're going to separate and never deal with each other again. And I feel like as your kid, as your son, you should probably kind of be a bit more freeing for that. But who's to say? That's just my take on it. I gotta say, on that 6,700 thing costs, like, his mom should be working. Like, you're sitting here getting $80,000 a year, and then your mom should be also working. And then also in the entitled picture, you see him rocking like Balenciaga's flip flops, and it's like, do you really need to wear this? You can't get some not even bummy, some regular pair of Nike, Adidas flip flops. You really gotta get the ones that say Balenciaga. That's another thing for another day. Just my thoughts as we're going through this whole topic is where I just feel like we're dealing with a toxic mom and dad situation, and the kid is stuck in between it, and it's all messed up. With that being said, I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on this topic. What are you feeling? Which side are you leaning on? I feel like a lot of people are just going to lean on the 50 side and be like, all right, screw Marquise. I'd like to at least say, give this guy a chance, because he's 25 now. Because, having that father-son relationship, it means a lot, but that's just my take. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.